So again, just going back to the process of actually getting called out to a what do you call it? An incident.
Yeah, an incident. Say.
You're out there on a live circuit, and you briefly mentioned it with like you've got to watch out for these fast boys. Like if anyone's watched any motorcycle racing, a crash happens, yellow flag comes out, marshals run across to the bike if it's safe, pick the bike up, put it to the side, hopefully just rider walks off. But because we've got 37 miles, you go from your location to that incident on a live race circuit.
Absolutely, yeah. So we'll still be sat there. Say, for example, usually we'll get a shout from the marshals on that sector. So, say if we're sat Sulby Bridge, for example, there's an accident.
You're sat there, helmet on.
No, just sat sort of, sat helmet off, helmets on the bike. Try and keep a bit of heat in the bike every now and then, especially if if it's a long day. So we'll just be sat, chatting to the marshals, keeping an eye on the races, because what we do as well, we observe all the bikes going past. So, say if there's a belly pan loose, sort of this, that, and the other. And we've also got black flag points, so it'll be Kurt Michael, Ballacrane, Kurt Michael, Sulby Bridge and Parliament Square. So if a bike is in between that sector, can you black flag, Joe Bloggs or whatever, his belly pan's loose, we can get them stopped. Because we're all scrutineers, we can check it. Oh no, it's just like, it's a rag or it's just the numbers. It's something like that. It's safe to continue. Or if they're smoking, they don't realise. Especially at the Manx, the amount of boys coming in like covered in oil.
Yeah.
I thought my foot was slipping off.
There's no oil in the engine anymore.
So say for example, there's an incident going off. We'll be sat with the marshals. We'll get a shout from the marshals first, usually, if they hear it on their radio. Then control will come through. Just get onto standby sort of thing. Get yourself to this incident at this location. Well, obviously, once they say standby, helmets on, bikes running, gloves on, pretty much ready to go. And then
you've got them in your ear in the helmet.
Got our headsets on, we've got a microphone on, push to talk on the bike, push to talk sort of up on a collar if you like. And then we're off to it. And then you're sort of thinking, I'm on a live track, which is why we're all ex-racers, because although we might not be going as fast, but we're on the line.
It's so much easier to pass somebody on the right lane.
You know that we're not going to be like, we'll take a quick glance in the mirrors now and then, but like we sort of know whereabouts everybody is. We'll shoot off, and then you're in your head, you're thinking, right, say if it's like at the 11th or the 13th, think like it's fast there, it's
But even because you're watching the race, he will know, Dean's just gone through a 2. That means that there's 6 or 7 hitters coming here, or else if it's like number 22's just gone through.
It's a little bit of pressure off.
You've got an understanding of, because he's a racer and he knows the race and he's been listening and stuff.
You still go with the same
intensity to
exactly,
get there.
But you know that right, that's all right then. It's like I'm not going to ruin Hickman's race or ruin somebody's race sort of thing. But they know that they're coming on you that quick. It's like they'll get past you because they know where we're going to be. They know we're not going to do anything stupid. They can zip past.
So have you been out? Have you been called out
live circuits?
And had to come out in the midst of those top 10.
We all have. Yeah.
Have you?
Oh yeah.
So what was that like? For the first time.
The first time was pretty scary. To be fair, the first time you do it is like a baptism of fire, and it's just like, wow.
Can you remember who it was that was coming past you?
I remember Dunlop's come past me. I've been flat out on that blade down Sulby Straight before. Like they're limited to like 300 kilometres. So that blade's in the limit at 186. Yeah. I'm like, yes, nice one. No worries. Maybe
him looking at you.
Maybe for
another gear.
Sticks his foot out saying thanks very much sort of thing,
Because you have to remember he's been sat watching as well.
They're 4 laps in.
And even if he's a good level of racer, but if I was sat watching and went out to then, it wouldn't matter what level you are. It's just a completely different. You know what I mean? Getting your brain up to speed.
And just like obviously we run road tyres just because they heat up quicker. And they're meant to take the heat cycles, and they do. The metals that we got on there, they do heat up fast, and they're good. They're good for the job.
There is other brands of tyres.
There is other brands of tyre out there.
But why buy anything else?
Why buy anything else?
When the metals do the job.
Pay for anything.
Just get a big advert in here now.
So let's on the other side of that spectrum. Then, have you ever gone out onto a call and actually started overtaking riders?
It happens more at the Manx. Definitely more at the Manx. Some of the TT you might catch up in some super sport races, but.
Yeah, imagine getting my days.
Well, no, it's
imagine you're trying like this is no disrespect. Everyone is trying hard, right? Yeah. You're out there busting your balls, and this dude comes past with his backpack on,
sandwiches in the back.
You go, all right, lads, good effort, but I've got a job to go to here, so just You'd be absolutely wounded.
I'm on my commute.
Just after work, lads.
You just pull up. I mean, it could be a serious incident you're going to, but still, it must be.
That's more when it is. If you're on the way somewhere, you can. Manx and Classic, you will pass people if you're on the way to an incident because. It's time critical, isn't it?
Plus your knowledge of not saying that there's a good place to crash, but there's your knowledge of the track. Like someone goes, it's Ballygarry. It's you're going to go. Chances are not good here, or if someone says it's in the Nook, or think, this will.
Sometimes they won't call you. You go to standby. Say if it's like May Hill or the Hairpin. You might go to standby from Parliament Square, but then be like, right, he's up. The bike's fine.
But you'll get a call, and they'll say somewhere, and you'll go.
100%.
You'll know in your heart that it's
100%.
like.
So what? Because and it's nothing, but the only thing I can equate it to is it's being like a lifeguard in a swimming pool, right? It's a job that you have to.
Just got an envision of Bay watching.
I mean, it looked cool. It looked cool running
He's
down
got
the
the right physique.
There's some really short red shorts.
Tiny little shorts. Yeah.
That's all he wanted to get the point round. Can they put in little things of Hasselhoff now?
Well, there we go. We're gonna have to now. Henry's just made your job a hell of a lot harder.
Sorry.
My point being, as a lifeguard, you're trained to do that.
Yeah.
But it's a job that you never actually want to.
Never want to do.
You never want to do it.
Yeah,
If you end up doing your job, something's gone wrong for somebody else, and it's kind of the same for you guys. So that first time you got that call, and it was a Ballygarry, or it was 26th.
Yeah.
I think it's fast round there.
26th fast round there.
Yeah.
33rd.
Yeah,
you know these places at Gorsley, places like that, and you think in your head. It's tough to say, but the reality of it, it's 50-50, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's like
probably not even. Yeah.
Sometimes you get away with it, sometimes you don't.
So when the call comes in, obviously you've got to go onto autopilot. You've got a job to do, but how? Do you feel like your stomach? Oh God! Shit.
You think you're getting there as quick as you can, but you drive to arrive. If you ride to arrive, they say same in the fire service. You go in there to get there. You don't want to be another accident basically. But you're thinking in your head, right? You think I've gone from here. Tires are still cold. I'm winding it on here. The traction control light's giving it all this, and you're like, what am I going to come up to? Is it going to be like a bomb seed? Is it going to be recticel in the road? How's it going to do? And you sort of controls in your ear as well, saying airmed's on the way. X, Y, and Z. You just don't know. And sometimes you will be the first one there. You'll be getting there at the same time as the marshal. Not every point has got a doctor. Not every point's got a paramedic. Mm-hmm. A lot of the marshals will be first aid trained, to deal with stuff like that, helmet removal, just general sort of first aid, if you like. But yeah, sometimes you're the first one there, and it's like it's full on. But that's all going on in your head.
Yeah.
While you're trying to ride the bike.
While you're riding the bike, quick glance in the mirrors
and staying out of everyone's way. And
it's mental, isn't it?
Yeah. It's crazy. But
it's like that thing when you say it out loud, people don't see it. Like you say, people like it can be the best job in the world when you sat watching a senior race, nothing happens. In the glorious sunshine, it's mega. It's perfect.
Well, you're opening the roads at the end of the day. You get a bit of lap in.
You get to do the last lap round.
Some people do, Depends
He's the last man to ride the course for a year.
Yeah. And that's it. Like last travel marshals, sort of it's a nice little perk to have. But then, like you say, the perks of the job are mega. But do they outweigh the downside? They don't. You're never going to put that like a husband, a son, a daughter, a wife not going home for dinner or whatever. Yeah. It's not going to outweigh that, is it? But we're there to do a job. We all know the risk. We all do it. That's part of the draw, isn't it? You know what I mean? We're all back here now talking about it. We love it.
Exactly.
I think what outweighs it for you is the fact that you get to help someone. It's not the fact of the bad. You have to put that in the box. But the fact that we're selfish racing, but the good is getting a result. But his good is he genuinely either saves somebody's life. Someone gets to go home. That to me is a much higher good than getting any. As beautiful as she is, do you know what I mean? That is.
I'd still want one.
But as a moral compass, that is unbelievable.
Hugely, yeah. So can you remember? You don't have to go into details, but the first serious incident you went to.
It was my very first one.
Was it?
My first one was the first year. Was a fatality up at the 33rd. That was like full baptism of fire. It was like towards the end of TT as well. So towards the end of the week, and it was what it was. Up to the 33rd milestone. So you remember that, and then you sort of remember all the others. They don't all blend into one. Yeah. And then you have good ones, you have bad ones.
Yeah.
You have ones. I've had like one at the 11th, and the guy he was really lucky there because the bike had gone off the course. he was there. He was like, I think he'd done his leg or whatever. I came over talking to him. He'd taken his own helmet off. I sort of always take someone's leathers down just to get a bit of air into them.
Yeah.
And I was chatting away to him, like, and he was like, he was okay, and he was like, yeah, I'm French. Didn't understand the word. I thought, doing really well. He is like, yeah, French, mate, don't worry about it. It's brilliant. But yeah, he was fine.
So with that first incident, had he passed away before you'd even got there?
Pretty much, yeah.
Right.
It was bad. It was sort of, there was a doctor on scene, but it was sort of not a lack of marshals. That was when I sort of saw it, when you see people, it's stuff nobody wants to see.
Yeah.
Nobody should see it.
Yeah.
And obviously, one marshal was sort of in shock and managed to get her to sort of go around the corner, if you like.
That's some self-preservation. You know, so right, he's trying to save someone's life, risking his own to get there and everything. But when he gets there, to still have the preservation to go, that person's struggling.
Yeah.
Never mind that the guy's dying, there's a doctor there, and to have the self-preservation to go, well, it's not fair. She's struggling or he's struggling. They don't need to be there. Like, that's some brain capacity.
Yeah. So that's what that consciously unconscious sort of thing.
Yeah.
You know, you sort of do it. Yeah.
But that's either in you or it's not. You know what I mean? You can't train that. Like,
I think that's what it's like, and that's why I sort of said I've got to say yes to it. When you get asked, you have to say yes. We don't have to, but for me it was like a no-brainer.
Yeah.
And if I didn't like it, I didn't like it. It's one of them. I was talking to Woody about it the other day, the other TM, and it was the same thing. It's like, you just get asked if it's not for you. There's no shame in doing it and going to it and saying, actually, it's not for me. It's a big amount a bigger person to walk away from that, because you're realising your own limitations, and actually it's not for me. I'm not fit for it. Not sounds horrible, isn't it? I'm not fit for it, but like
you're doing the person a favour.
You're good enough in your own mind to be like, yeah, that's not for me, that.
And do you think, because you live here obviously, and you can say them places and you see all them places and these things happen at all these places, when you drive past these places normally,
go think about it. Sometimes, but a lot of them, you sort of deal with it. It's like, it's done, it's dealt with, it's spoken about. It's some linger with you more than others,
Yeah, obviously.
And I live down the south, so.
That cracks me. He lives in a different country. May
as well be
15 mile that way.
15 minutes out.
What would we be going to Douglas for?
Yeah. So that first incident, how did you kind of navigate away from it, and how did you
just spoke to the lads really?
Process it.
It was a tragic one, because someone had dropped oil and the other rider through had come through and obviously hit it, and he'd gone off there. So, and obviously I was coming to it as my first incident, and obviously there's only one line through that section of track.
Yeah.
And I remember coming to it on the blade, and I remember just tipping in, and it's just it went like that, and I thought, oh wow. So then you're off. I wasn't even travelling quick, because obviously you could see where it all was. So it sort of almost just took the front, sat it up, got into lay-by there, assisted the doctor and stuff. Like, what can you do? And then the paramedics came, but it's sort of that sort of time. Yeah, it's just too late at that point.
And did that make you think this isn't for me, or?
For me, I just thought, as my first one, I thought there's more. There's more to come. It's not like you say. I think like that doctor said about you. It's like they're already dead. Before, if you go, if you don't go, it's a good way to look at it. I think like that. And then I wasn't thinking about it like that. Spoke to the lads after it, and even on the one Tony was just like, if it's not for you, it's fair to speak up. And I thought, no. It's like it wasn't a horrific scene. It was just tragic, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
So, but it's just.
It's always going to be.
But I thought it was something I wanted to do.
Yeah.
The thing, like, obviously I've spoke about like mental health and everything recently, but what I've noticed, like the amount you've said about these, and they're all like, he's a typical hard middle-aged bloke, and he's all are. Do you know what I mean?
21.
The weather's tough in the Isle of Man. But like, it's so good to hear him say, we say this and we go back and ask, and we're like this team.
Chat about it.
Yeah, that to me, which I don't think that wouldn't have happened 20, 30
years.
No,
absolutely.
Way.
Probably not even 15 years ago, but probably would have been sort of one of them suck it up, stiff upper lip.
Yeah.
And it can't be you can't do it. And I think, like you say, if you say something out loud, it's real then.
Yeah.
If you can deal with somebody, if you actually say it out loud, it's real, and then you're dealing with it then.
Well, and to know that's there, to have them voice, it's not, there's no shame in that.
No,
they're asking you the right question.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, that's probably why they didn't talk about it, because the moment you talk about it, you make it real,
and
then they go.
Yeah, actually, it did affect me. It did.
Yeah,
it did this.
But people didn't know how to really express that, and you felt like if you did express that, you were a bit. Yeah. But I think you need to express it 100%. So you can almost like clean the slate from yourself.
Unload it, like get it out there and in the open, and then if you're not dealing with it.
But it is such a tough subject to talk about, especially even on the podcast, because we can't hide from it, and you can't pretend it doesn't happen. But at the same time, you don't want to mention it.
Yeah,
it's such a strange. It's a strange part of the TT.
It's almost like it's the arrogance of thinking that it won't happen to you or you won't see it. But now
it is. Everybody thinks that you're
that's my arrogance because I'm a racer. But then he's got not the arrogance, but he's got the joy of if it does happen, then he's got the chance to help someone. You do not want it to happen, but then he's go right. Well, this is what I'm training for, and then the same competitiveness in you that helps you race is the thing where I'm going to try and save this guy. Do you know what I mean? And that's why they're all ex-racers and not only for the speed on the bike and on the track, but the mentality of I'm gonna do this, or I'm gonna give this my best shot. Do you know what I mean?
Shout,
and that's exactly what you need. It's with all that skill, the last thing you want to be doing is just stood there watching. You want to
it'd be horrible. Like, and there's no shame in that if that would happen.
No,
Doctors on a plane or whatever. But like, there's only one way to find out, isn't there?
Exactly.
Maybe it's just like I can't say no to it.
So then, you could look at all the stuff that's happened and how horrible a lot of it has been. But there must have been moments in it where you've been on that scene, and because you turned up at the speed you turned up and you did what you needed to do, that you've actually saved lives.
Yeah, saved lives, saved limbs, saved bits and bobs. It's like it's good. And most people, when they come back round, even if it's 6 months, 12 months down the line, say they run a big road to recovery, if you like, and then they just get a text. Just saying text, a nice one for that. I know it's been however long, but thanks very much. It was just good to see, like, familiar face, like, just you helped me out there, blah blah blah.
Yeah,
it's good.
So are you always posted up? Are you not always posted up?
No, it all depends. So usually practice week, I'll start in Sulby, then I'll move down to Ramsey. But then if there's any incidents, we'll all move round one. Or say, for example, if there's an incident at the Gooseneck, I could go from Ramsey, deal with that, and then come back the main roads back to Ramsey, so we don't have to move round one.
Plus he's in the south, so
plus
is this the only time you come to Douglas? TT and Max Grand Prix outside of that.
You won't see me north of the border.
He's got a southern reg on his Firebird. That's how they tell.
That's the only time he visits it when it's TT.
Yeah, but no, we all sort of move around. We sort of each year it's pretty much the same, if you know what I mean. Yeah. So like Kurt Michael, I'll be Ballycrane for race days. Then when the roads close, I'll go to Kurt Michael, and then usually if there's a lunch break, depending on how the day goes, we'll all come in, bite to eat, unless the boys drop sandwiches off to us, and then my second position will be Brandywell or the grandstand.
Because that'll help with your automatic response and knowledge of the place. Is that why they do that?
Yeah, I think as well, because you know your sectors as well.
And you'll know exactly, that'll take me 2 minutes, 3 minutes, whereas if you kept changing, then you may only have one incident in one. That's a good idea.
It is good, and it's like, you sort of, that's your sort of sector then, but we know all the sectors like the back of our hands, and we all know the little back roads to dart in, left, right and centre, so I know it's like, you've got to go to Orrisdale, north or south, or from Sulby or from Ramsey, the back roads to get sort of this side of Kurt Michael, if you like. There's all little back roads and sneaky little access roads we can sneak up.
How many incidents have you been to that haven't been racing related? Because when I went up into the tower,
yesterday was pretty full on, wasn't it? There was like there's a medical emergency. The gooseneck, some fella fell over, cracked his head open. Really? Sulby and Ballaugh as well, wasn't there? Yeah.
So even those you'll
sometimes we're good if we're there. If we're there, we'll try and help out.
Just whoever's closest, they try and get to.
There was an incident. It was a fictitious incident that someone had it was an old woman with mental issues that had made her way onto the circuit.
Yeah.
So that again, not a racing.
Yeah, stuff does happen like that, and people, if they need to get out, and I get it can be inconvenient for that person in their bubble. It's like it's massively inconvenienced me. It's huge. I need to get out of my house. It's my house. I should be able to get to and from it.
Has that ever happened that you've?
Does happen.
That you've come across any of that?
I've never really had to deal with that. I've escorted a couple of cars and stuff off the course, after it's closed. So, and I know Woody did one from Blackdub to the top of Kurt Michael Crossroads as well, TT this year. It does happen. Yeah. Happen. I think I've only done 1 or 2, to be fair.
Yeah, I always find it fascinating.
You imagine if it was on the mainland, it would be a lot worse because people.
100%.
Yeah, whereas people over here are pretty. I mean, if you move to the Isle of Man and don't know this is happening, or if you're not originally from here, that you've got some serious issues.
Trapped in your house, Michael, thinking, what's going on here?
The estate agent has done a real good number on you to get you here without knowing.
It's like road, 20-mile-an-hour road.
Like living under Stansted and no one telling you that.
Why is there no cars passing the house today?
Only do viewings at 6 in the morning when there's no planes.
Oh, unbelievable.
Nice. So, what? Let's talk about like normal life then. When you are away from the TT. Enjoy your racing, watch your racing, follow your racing.
I love it, all like the real road racing, definitely, 100%. Love watching that. Watch American Superbikes. I'm quite big into that at the minute as well.
AMA.
Yeah. I think it's just because they're like
the tracks are quite gnarly as well in the States, like proper.
Did you see that crash recently? Was it Cameron?
Cameron Bobby goes into the back of him, didn't he? He just missed a gear, didn't he? I think.
That was proper sketchy, that one, wasn't it?
Yeah. It was a big one, that wasn't he? He was lucky. They're both lucky to walk away from that, to be fair.
That was the guy in front's fault, really. You don't go through a fast chicane and not put your hand up, not look right. He literally.
But I like AMA. I think as well because there's a lot of money in it. The boys, they don't care, do they?
They're ruthless,
They'll do anything for.
I started watching it when was it Matt Mladen? Was in it?
Matt Mladen was in it.
One of my Josh Heron, my friend. So I know Josh Heron, and I would speak to him a little bit. He's so keen to come to the TT, like,
not to race.
No.
Just
well,
he
does a lot of street riding. Like he's a bit of a hoonigan on a road bike. And I sort of said that to him. I goes, "Do you fancy it?" And he goes, "Nah." You know, like he wants to. I think he would like to come and do a lap. You know, like a
raid.
But I reckon he would do a work and he'd be wanting to.
He'd love that, you know. It'd be good to see Josh Heron.
He's got a bit of a chip, not a chip on his shoulder. He's a bit of a boy. Yeah. Do you know what I mean?
Do you think he'd come over and get bitten by the bug though? He says no, but then the moment you get
he's American,
an open
they're
road,
all scared, aren't they? Cut that bit out.
No, don't put that in. In fact, if anything, send that clip to him and let's bait him out.
Says,
Josh Heron's scared. Yeah.
Like
some of them American, I don't know if it's Road Atlanta or some of them have got proper like they jump over a chicane and into like gnarly looking tracks.
Yeah, I've not followed it for a while.
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah,
like that. So like MotoGP, BSB can't beat BSB. It's mega, isn't it? Let's be honest.
BSB is probably one of the best series at the minute.
It always has been. I watched the 2004 full season the other night before first practice. You know, it was all Rutter was actually giving it to everyone. McGuinness was right crasher back in the day.
Yeah.
Wait, 2004. Who was?
Rutter and John Reynolds.
On the Rizzler Suzuki.
On the Rizzler.
But
John.
Reynolds a bit. Rutter had been on the Highland Spring Ducati, was it?
That's right.
That's some
facts.
That is some knowledge.
Facts.
Go on, give me some more.
I used to like Rutter back then.
Then you got to know him.
He was a right lad.
Just someone just put it on YouTube. You know, every single race. It's mega. It was. It's brilliant.
I love a bit of BSB from the old.
So he says he'll watch 2004 British Superbikes, but your background noise.
Yeah.
Just throwing that out there.
Well, technically, your background noise, right?
I watch this one.
Yeah, he's going to be glued to this one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
all the mates. Talking to mates, do you talk about racing with your non-racing friends?
Yeah, but they're all either motocrossers. They're all into bikes in one way or another.
So everyone's a mate from.
You do realise he lives on the Isle of Man.
Yeah, I suppose. Yeah, but what about the incidents and things like that? Do you
don't really talk about that? Not into detail and stuff. That'll be the same. You know, how are you doing?
It's a bit like people that go to war, isn't it? You don't really want to ask, but you kind of
do, don't you?
You want to try and help, but not by
if the microphones were off.
Nosy, strange one, isn't it?
You kind of want the information, but you also don't want the information.
It's a strange one as well. You know, people that go off to war and you think, we know the stuff that happens here. Yeah. But can't wait to come back to the TT. You know, do people want? Do they want to go back to war? Has anyone ever said I can't wait to get back to Afghanistan?
Yeah, honestly, so my Christy, what's the right word? Psychologist? No, trauma psychologist. What the guy I went to see?
Specialist.
Yeah, psychologist. So he actually was in Iraq and Iran, working as the doctor, and then got shot there, and then come back and then went into psychology and stuff. But so I when I was stating these sort of facts to him, he was like, "Oh yeah, it's exactly the same." I was like, "How is me having the best time of my life, riding around the best track in the world, the same as going to Iraq?" He's like, "Yeah, but it's your job. It's our job. Yeah, we go there. We know the risks." I was like, "Yeah, but you're getting sent there." He goes, "Yeah, but we all want to go realistically." I was like, "All right," and he says, "Yeah, but we all know the risk, and we're out there and we're shooting, like when it's a proper live, bad area and they're proper shooting." But I couldn't. My brain, I couldn't do it. But he put them all together, as in, yep. It was fine. Do you know what I mean? So I'm not saying it's like that, and I'm not condoning that what we're like is going to war at all.
There's war out there.
Yeah, but he could put it into them same situations, which I found very fascinating. But yeah, I think people that do go to war or have to go to war and everything is.
Well, different. That's it. Yeah, they'll go back again if they're asked. There's not many that won't. Same with you. You'll still go down. When we were chatting, when I made that little film for RST, I remember it, and we were talking about Dan Neen, and it had only happened a couple of days before, and you were sat in your levers in your motorhome, and you said, "I'm still gonna go down there as hard as I ever have done." Yeah. And I've known this lad for years and years.
We were good friends, but I think it was Gary Johnston that said that, like, someone got hurt or died in the very first documentary, and he says, them lads are going out today and they are not one of them's going to go, listen, we'll ride round at 60%. Yeah. You know, just as a bit of they are going fat harder than they went before, and that's the mental side that you struggle to try and explain to people that don't, you know what I mean? They think you're mad, but it's part of life, isn't it?
Well, you're mad, but for 1,000,001 different reasons.
That's a rare. He's got a laugh out of a joke there, mate. Well done. Did you get that on? Is that on camera?
Thumbnail.
Yeah, just cut that bit out.
I think that's a perfect place to end the podcast. And as an avid fan of the podcast, Plater's quickfire questions come at the end.
Oh, go on.
No explanation. No if, buts, maybes. No.
I don't know where this one's going. North or south?
South.
There was no hesitation there, was there?
Of the island. England's north.
Yeah.
North of England as well.
Oh, yeah. Yes. Quality.
Dunlop or McGuinness?
Oh, come on. Dunlop.
Dunlop, as in younger Dunlop, or Hickey?
Dunlop.
Nice. Beer or wine?
Beer.
Steve Plater or Lee Johnston?
Lee Johnston.
Not a millisecond of hesitation was in that answer.
AMA or BSB?
BSB.
World Superbikes or MotoGP?
World Superbikes.
Valentino Rossi or Marc Marquez?
Rossi, for the personality.
Nice. Wheelies or stoppies?
Oh, I'd love to be able to do a good stoppie, but wheelies.
See, I was way better at stoppies than I was at wheelies.
Yeah, but you're on a bicycle.
No,
unicycle.
Unicycle, yeah. Penny farthing, he was cruising around on.
Cheer up, you. Ginger Hall to Ramsey or Ramsey to Cronknamona?
Ginger Hall to Ramsey.
Nice. And then final question. Pineapple or never pineapple on pizza?
Never pineapple
Good
on pizza.
lad.
Never pineapple on pizza.
You should be southern, you should. Not in the Isle of Man, I mean
English.
English.
If you put pineapple in your trolley down Tesco's, you'll get a girlfriend. Or a bunch of swingers.
That's the best comeback ever for pineapple and pizza.
It's for real.
For real? What, just the pineapple?
What, in Tesco on the Isle of Man?
Pineapple, I think you have to put a woolly hat on it or something.
In the Isle of Man?
Everywhere.
Oh.
Every supermarket.
Christy, we go to Tesco's next week. Rich is going to be going down trolley there with his beanie on.
I'll literally take any help I can get. Absolutely. Where's your t-shirt from, Johnny?
GBN.
What does GBN stand for?
Gnarly but nice.
Gnarly but nice.
Big up the boys.
Keep it in. Johnny, it's been an absolute pleasure.
Thanks, boys.
Thank you for everything you do at the TT.
Yeah, but I thank you personally for everything
and I think
you do.
all the fans do, and we really appreciate what you do, man.
Thanks very much, guys.
Thank you.
Unbelievable.
Awesome.
Cheers, mate.
Cheers.
Fucking thank you, mate. You fucking blow my mind.
So, Lee Johnston, I guess.
Why are you saying my full name?
I don't know.
So, Lee Glenn Johnson.
Anyway, Lee Glenn Johnston.
You've done that before. Actually on stage as well.
What?
Called me by my full name.
I introduced you as the only rider to win Alpha TT as well, remember?
Yeah. And the crowd booed
There's
you.
not many people I feel like I could get away with abusing, but that's
That's
certainly one of them.
hatest.
So anyway, Jonny Heginbotham, eggs and bacon, however he wants to be called. What guy? Heginbotham.
Doesn't them posh tones don't roll off your tongue, do they?
No, I'm from Yorkshire, that's why. Anyway, not a guy that you ever want to meet while there's a race going on.
No.
Do you know what I mean? Hopefully that's the only time you meet him.
Or if he does pass me, I'm fucking pulling over. I'm not joking. Oh, that'd do me in. But there's not often in my life when things are said and I've got nothing to say back. and I had like all these questions, and he just smashed out a load of things that he does, and I just went,
no.
Yeah, literally that is what happened. So the next time I wave at them dudes, I'm not going to just go, hey, I'm going to be like,
thank you.
I'm going to say thank you every time I see one or wave at them, or unbelievable.
Yeah, it's the same with marshals. Like, marshals have got such an important job, and you can't take anything away from marshals because they have got a very important job.
I stated quite a few things. So he's A, getting on his bike, worrying about cold tires, B, going as fast as he can, C, worrying about what he's going to see when he gets there, D, then thinking about what he has to do when he gets there, give all the information back to the tower, get whatever other necessary, whether it be the air med, the ambulance, the police, if the race needs to get stopped, then worry about what marshals need to do and stuff. And obviously they're well equipped, but it's like
it's still a live race circuit as well while he's trying to navigate his way around to this accident. Then he's got riders who are still in a race situation coming up to that accident or incident, and he has to make a split decision whether to stop the race or not.
Think of the pressure there. Do you know what I mean? Because you're not. Obviously, the most important thing is the rider safety that is in the incident. But then you could potentially interrupt someone else's race, stop a race that's not needing to be stopped. There's a lot of big decisions to get made on just assessing the situation within 10, 20 seconds, not even.
It's crazy. But luckily, we have people like him who are clearly highly skilled in what is essentially a volunteer role.
Yeah. The good thing is they're all Manx.
Yeah.
Different breed, them. That's a compliment.
So when you say a different breed, what you clearly mean is they're just wired differently, aren't they?
I think you can pick a lot of that off his mentality. Like how he was talking about them things, going, yeah, well, that's just what you need to do.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And
maybe that's just from growing up with the TT for years and years and years, and it's just
second nature.
How many people say it is what it is?
Yeah. Yeah, but it's all right saying that until the shit hits the fan.
And then you want someone like him to be like, I've got this. Yeah. And with those hands, he's got it covered.
I'm worried about you.
It won't surprise me if at one point in his career he has just literally sorted the whole situation out with his bare hands, just pulled it all to one side.
Or like moved me out of the way.
Oh, he could definitely pick you up with one hand. 100%. Anyway.
Unbelievable.
And that's it. Another TT podcast has come to an end. And it's the last of the run here on the Isle of Man. Lee, it's been a pleasure. It genuinely has. It brings a tear to my eye thinking that we may never do this again.
Can you zoom in on his face?
But
all good things have to come to an end.
Have you enjoyed your time on the TT podcast?
Yeah, I have, to be honest. I would prefer to be on my bike, I'm not going to lie. And there's not an option to have you on the back as yet, but who knows?
I will say though, sidecar, you could fit into that little bit of the front so easy.
There's no glove box on a sidecar. Just to clear that up straight away, whoever maybe thought that's what he was trying to describe.
Get into the glove box, I'll sit in the back.
No, I have enjoyed this. I have enjoyed certain guests because I'm a fan of them still. Obviously everybody was good for different reasons, but I've enjoyed certain guests a little bit more, as anyone will do when they're watching the podcast. So it's been good.
All right, not to put you on the spot, but who was your favourite guest to have on?
Cam Donald.
Yeah?
Yeah. But that's just because of my age and like we're good friends, you know what I mean? But I still, the 14, 15-year-old Lee, watching him, is still in there and still, he's still cool as.
There we go. We'll see what the future holds for you and your bike and your career.
You and your bike and your paper round.
But do you know what? Without sounding too dickish, brown-nose-ish, it's been an absolute pleasure.
I know, mate.
I've enjoyed every second of it.
I know you have.
It's been great. And hopefully everybody out there has. Make sure you leave a rating and a review as to how good a job Lee Johnston did. And until next time, which is when this is coming up.
I've only been to Spain testing once and I went out. I was only in track day. I can't remember who it was with now, but we turned up and I was like, oh, I'm in the advanced group here. I'm well out of my depth. And, you go out there and you're one of the quickest. It's like, well, right, okay. But I worry too much about things and I just need to get on with it.
Is it 5th quickest TT newcomer? behind, let's go through them. Hickey, Davey Todd, Josh Brooks, who's the other?
Glenn
Irwin.
Glenn Irwin, yeah.
And then you. And yet you're going, I don't think I'm good enough for this. So that next episode is available right here on TT Plus, or you can watch it a week later on YouTube, or you can wait for your podcast feed. But you may as well watch it first right here on TT Plus. Leave your comments, leave your reviews wherever you watch or listen to your podcasts, and we'll be back very, very soon. See you later, Lee.
Do you think the views will be up because I'm here now?
100%.
Cool.